love me some Dr. Pepper. New setup. Hey, yeah, I'm still kind of like trying to get adapted to this space. This might change another 40 times. I don't know. I moved my desk on the weekend to a new space because I wanted to be able to put shelves above it, and I had it like originally it was under that window, which was fine, but there's no shelving availability, right? So here we are in a new area, which I need to get better lighting. That's priority number uno right now, is getting better lighting for you guys. Not even for content purposes, but for client readings. Like personal readings, the lighting sucks butts. Am I drinking Dr. Pepper at 11 in the morning? Yes. Do I care? No. Will I tolerate your judgment? Absolutely not. You should have more whimsy in your life. You look gorgeous. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I have one of those lights that clip onto the desk that may be good for you. I've thought about one of those as well. I haven't really made an executive decision because I'm not really sure what I would clip it onto. First and foremost, my desk is a little thick. I was kind of thinking about getting some that I can attach underneath my shelves because I have 2 sets of shelves right in front of me. I don't know. It's going to process. Trial and error. We'll get there. Good morning, everyone. Wow, you look so pretty. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I just put on some makeup today. Diabolical, isn't it? Anyway. What are we doing today? It looks so cozy in your home. Thank you. It's getting there. We are slowly getting settled. She's been a process. This whole room is going to change again probably 2 more times, but we'll see what happens. I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do with little Bun because Bun cage takes up like 90% of my room. And I don't want it in the background of my videos, you know? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I love your setup. It's so nice. Thank you. We're getting there, y'all. Like, I should show you my desk. I can show you my desk. Y'all want to see it? It's cute. We got a cozy little vibe going. Lots of shelving. Lots of shelving, because your girl has lots of cards. My sister is a wonderful person and 3D printed this. Oh. What? Hello? Okay, let's try that again. She 3D printed this. I thought it was cute, so I'm like, I'm gonna put that on my desk. And then this also. Isn't that cute? And I was like, I need somewhere to display that on a regular basis. My sister does not know this yet, but she's going to be printing me more letters because I don't have enough letters for that. She only printed the alphabet. And I was like, girl. In her defense, she did tell me I needed more letters. But yeah, that's my little desk set up. It's giving Monster High. I've actually never seen that, but that's valid. Wow, want. My sister 3D prints me stuff too. She loves it. She loves to do it. She's like, send me all of the things. And I'm like, okay. I would steal that off of you, LOL JK. I'm sure you could probably find it on Etsy. Someone probably charges money for it. Or if you have a 3D printer or someone that you know that has a 3D printer, you can find it in Maker World. Okay. So what are we doing today, y'all? Do we just want to do like, what do we need to know? What do we need to hear? What is going on within the collective? Or do we have a topic that we want to look at. Also, the way Sabrina Carpenter's house tour lives rent-free in my mind. Do you want the house tour? What's coming towards us? That's fair. We could do that one. What's going on? I feel like that's very similar energy, so I might just do like a general and you guys can decide how it applies for your own lives. How's that sound? So I'm just going to leave it up to the interpreter of what this is about. I've seen, when I opened up my Twitch this morning, I've seen that there are other tarot people branching out onto Twitch now. I don't know any of them, but like Twitch recommended I watch it, and I was like, that's cool. I like that you guys are expanding. Okay. Give me un momento to let Spirit guide me to some decks. First of all, we're going to be using this one. Plot twist. I don't want to use that one. Get out of here, Spirit. All right, fine. Fine. What is going on in everybody's lives lately that I've been pulled to, like, this type of shit? I don't know. But I mean, that kind of checks out, because we also have the Evil Eye deck. I haven't even picked a tarot yet. I think I'm going to start... I think we're going to do this a little different than normal, okay? I think I'm going to start with this because I actually really don't enjoy this deck, but I'm being called to it for a reason. So what we're going to do is just see what it wants to say, get it out the way, and then move on. So first of all, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I do want to remind you guys, if you're new here, if you have a Prime membership, you can subscribe through your Prime, and it will actually still give you access to the stream without ads, without having to pay the premium for the month. However, if you do want to sub, I'm going to be very happy about that because you're supporting me. But you don't have to. There's no pressure. You seem so happy. I love that for you. Oh, thanks. I mean, I'm starting to feel more settled, so I'm starting to feel happier about my life. Not that I wasn't happy about my life before, but y'all know what I'm saying. All right. So before we get into this particular deck, which is just called Karmic Exposed, okay, I do want to preface this by saying part of the reason I don't love this deck is I find it can be pretty misogynistic, and I want to gently remind you that anybody can be a karmic, including you, okay? Man, woman, non-binary, does not matter. You do not need to be a woman to be karmic energy. It's just my personal opinion and belief that this can be a little misogynistic. If we sub through Prime, does that... no, it still does. It still does. Just some people don't have Prime memberships. I do too. I see karmics as more of a misalignment and someone that's meant to teach you a lesson, and like I have had my fair share of those. Interesting. Somebody's starting to notice some truth about a karmic in their life. This could be you. This could be someone connected to you. Please take it however it resonates. So you do have to resub every month when you do the Prime. I thought I subbed again, but it doesn't show up. Guess I'll see if an ad pops up. Oh, there it is. I constantly lie to your divine. I want to get my Bible and I want to go get my Bible blessed. Do it. I thought you were talking about like the energy and wanting to do that because of that. That's why I giggled. There's something about like a distinct scar on a man's face or a person's face. Take it however it resonates for you. But I keep being pulled to like the scar on this guy's face and this card's imagery. So whoever is starting to see some truth about karmic energy in their life could have some sort of a scar on their left eye, is what I just heard, or just like in general on their face, okay? This is like, I'm hearing something about January of 2019 could have been an important year for this collective, or an important month, I should say. My higher self is begging me to leave them. Interesting. Something about a cloak of invisibility? The heck does that mean? Pause, Dr. Pepper break. I'm also seeing something about hazel eyes. And then that just made me think of that song by Limp Bizkit. But, like, I want to remind y'all, I have ADHD, and my brain will associate words with things that I know. Maybe, like, a Harry Potter cloak, if that's how that resonated for you, for sure. I solemnly swear I am up to no good. Mischief managed. Anyway. I honestly feel like someone is breaking out of a third-party relationship. Something that has been very tedious, very time-consuming is also what I just heard. This relationship was hella toxic, and I feel like something is like, they're showing me like a drain. Like, you know when you have a bath and like you fill your bath up with water and then you take the plug out and it's draining the water? There's something about that seems symbolic. This person feels like they're starting to recognize that their truth can never be taken away. Something about being a little bit taken for granted. I manipulate them so well. I hate that. This person could have black hair. I just keep being pulled to like dark black hair. If not black, they just have something distinct about their hair. It's like a darker brown. I also just saw like copper, like red coppery, I don't know, like a coppery brown, but like with a lot of red hints in it. I don't know. Something about like a finger tattoo as well, but like one that goes the extent of their full finger. I'm also seeing something about like long acrylic nails. They could also be gel. I don't think so. The person with the scar feels like they're connected to this person with like the hair and tattoos and stuff. But if that's how it resonates, that's how it resonates too, right? Something about red lipstick. I'm also seeing this person tries to like mimic this collective quite a bit. So like, I don't know how else to explain this today. I've been quoting Mean Girls so freaking much that I feel like I should rewatch it. I haven't seen it in forever. But you know when they're like, I saw Katie Haring wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops. Something about that. It's like, I just heard the word poser. I don't like that, but like, if you do something, this person follows suit almost immediately after. So like, if you dyed your hair red, this person will dye their hair a color close to red but not identical because they don't want people to see what they're doing. Does that make sense? It's like this person mimics you, but in a way that like the naked eye wouldn't be able to recognize that, because they'd be able to brush it off if they were called out on it. They'd be like, well, no, like their hair is like that, so I went like this. I don't know. Yeah, I also kind of feel like this person, whoever this is competing with this collective. That's why you're tied into it. Now, for some of you, this is actually a karmic friend of yours or a family member or even a colleague. Take this how it resonates. It doesn't need to be connected to your, exactly, plausible deniability. It doesn't need to be connected to anyone that you're connected to. It could actually be direct, like a direct connection. Like they're showing me a direct line. So this could have been someone in your energy field that you were connected to in some capacity, perhaps from 2019. I don't know. For some of you, I am feeling really strongly that this is like a friend of a friend, or like a friend of yours, or an old friend. Others of you, this is definitely someone connected to someone that you're either in an active relationship with or you once were. Okay? And then others of you, this is a colleague. And I hate to say this, but for a small group, this could be a sibling, a younger sibling especially. Something about garlic bread. Specifically, I'm tasting like Little Caesars, like cheesy. What is that bread called? Like their garlic bread that you can get. I don't know. Something about the Scream movies could be important. I'm telling y'all, this person like mirrors you. Like if you post something, like let's say you post for shits and giggles, you posted about the Scream series, they're going to start posting about like a different horror movie franchise. Because again, they don't want to do the exact same one because that would be too obvious. Especially to the people around them. I feel like you've always seen this truth. But other people are recognizing it too. Because remember how we have like, they will never take my truth away? For some of you, that's you. That's you saying, you know, my truth is not swayed, if you will. Yeah, this person's really childish. I honestly feel like this individual is incredibly immature, and part of why they're still in competition with this collective is because you don't pay any mind to it. And things are coming to light. Remember that reading I did about how like someone is being dragged by karma? This is bringing that energy forward. And it's because this person hasn't shifted their obsession, whereas like you haven't put any focus towards it. Especially for those of you that this is connected to like an ex of yours or something along those lines, like an old friend of yours, whatever. Like the people that this person has been gossiping to about this collective are recognizing how I don't like this, but they're saying batshit crazy this person might actually be. Because you just don't give a fuck. Like you're not engaged whatsoever. A lot of you have this person blocked and have had them blocked for a very long time. And there's something about, like, I'm hearing the proof is in the pudding. There's something about how this person is, like, whoever this individual is connected to or whoever they're bitching about to you. So, like, there's two scenarios they're showing me. One, this is definitely someone from your past. Either you dated their partner or you were friends with their partner. I don't know. There is something connected in that sense. And then the other side of it is this is someone that you used to be friends with. So whatever side of the coin you land on, this person and you have mutual people, okay? So the people that this individual has been doing a lot of this to, the mutuals, if you will, are finally recognizing the truth. Because I feel like it's been years and years and years, and the same pattern hasn't shifted. This person doesn't even care about anybody's happiness but themselves. Like, at this point, I feel like if this is a relationship, this person is just with them to compete. Like, it's convenience is what I just heard. It's not real love. I don't like to say that either. This person could buy people's likes. Weird. I just saw social media. This person could buy their likes or their followers if this person has a platform. This could be something that this person has said about this collective as well. They try to tell people that you buy your likes or you buy your followers. How do you even do that? Like, I've tapped into this kind of a message before, and it confuses me every single time because I wouldn't even know how to do that if I wanted to. But also, that sounds like so much unnecessary effort. But clout chasers, I guess, right? The other thing I do sense whoever this is like somebody that, do you know what I mean when I say someone who, like, uses, like, materialistic ideals and money to get people to like them? So, like, someone who's like, oh, well, I need to be liked and I need to be loved by everyone around me, and the only way I can do that is by, like, feeding them with money and stuff. It is a waste of money, like, a huge waste of money. But I don't know. I don't understand the concept of caring about how many followers you have and how many likes you get in the first place. How However, at my most insecure, I probably would have done it if I knew how, if that makes sense. So I guess two sides of the coin or whatever, being a devil's advocate as per usual. I burn with anger and hate when you both communicate. Especially in dream space. So those of you that this is connected to someone from your past, this person said your name in a dream recently. Your divine is blinded by me. I'm hearing blinded by the light. Irritated by the feminine. Or always irritated. Bitter is as bitter does, is what I just heard. I freaking hate using that deck. Okay, please hold, guys. First of all, we're putting that back. The way my fish is like second breakfast? No. Okay. What does my collective need to hear? Makes sense. I don't even care about the followers or anything of that sort. I do want to dive more into this, though. It resonates, please. You. Yes, Lord. But can we change the deck? I honestly feel like we shouldn't dive in further. I feel like you got all you need to know, and if you dive in deeper to it, you're just chasing. I say that with the most love, okay? And you're ultimately giving that person, you know, energy. You don't want to fall into obsession, is what I'm trying to say. However, that all being said, I was also drawn to this deck. And I was drawn to this deck. So there might be some messages in that after, but I do want to pull some tarot first. I love that deck right now. I love that. Why are we getting to know about this? Why does Spirit want us to know? I don't know. I would assume there's a reason. I'm glad I missed most because it gave me the ick. Literally relatable. I love the drawer of decks. Thank you. Okay. So let's just see what this collective needs to hear. About themselves, about their life. I don't know. We're going to hop on in and find out. Interesting. We have the 5 of Wands in the reversed. So whoever just asked why we get to hear about that, I feel like it's because there's a shift in the energy. Honestly, they are showing me, for some of you, part of the reason we were just told all that information is because there's communication coming. There's an apology. There's, I don't know, some sort of like clarity. There's confirmation is what I'm hearing, in whatever way that looks like for you, okay? But with the 5 of Wands in the reverse position, I also feel like part of the reason this collective is like being allowed to hear the truth is because this is something that's created a lot of tension within your physical body. So you've experienced a lot of ego battles, a lot of conflict, a lot of inner turmoil because of whatever was happening behind closed doors with that energy. And I don't necessarily feel like it was anything other than like, you're such a high frequency person, and I feel like because you are so in tune with the frequency around you, when there is energy being thrown your way, it's challenging for you to block it off, because this collective is like, they're showing me like a sponge. So part of what's shifting is you are stepping into yourself, and you have learned how to protect yourself and protect your peace at all cost. And I feel like because you have learned how to overcome the tension and the challenges, there's a shift in this energy where Spirit's saying, not only are we giving you some insight before it happens, but you're also about to see the truth come to light. Because I feel like this collective, like whoever this energy is involved, there has been a lot that you have been dealing with energetically. Like they're showing me a weight, like an anchor. I just looked over at my iPad and I can see fighting with each other, with using their hands or their wands as weapons. So that's confirmation. Like literally. And then we have the Tower. I'm telling you, like, Part of this is about you finally getting recognition for what your intuition's been telling you for quite some time, but also a shift in energy. They just showed me like a visual of like an anchor lifting, because this has been weighing this collective down pretty substantially. Regardless of you being involved or not, like this was something that was kind of going like this, okay? And I feel like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. This collective has removed the blindfold surrounding their own shadow side. So surrounding the parts of you that needed to learn how to protect yourself from that type of energy, how to keep yourself safe, how to, ground yourself back to the earth and keep yourself level. And I feel like the other side of that is you also had some shadow work that had to be unpacked, correlating to perhaps why you let it bother you or whatever. It's different for each one of you. But when I see this particular card's imagery of that Two of Swords, it's literally just kind of like removing the blindfold. And this is kind of giving me this omen that this collective has been removing the blindfold towards themselves. You've been removing that like ego-based energy is what I'm hearing. Can I join for a reading, please? I'm so sorry. I don't know what you mean, my love. Something about Charles, the name, could be important, but I'm also seeing Charles Dickens. So, like, the author could be of significance. I'm also seeing acorns, monarch butterflies, and a squirrel. So monarch butterflies are a symbol of transformation. They're also rare. What's also interesting, I forgot that the Five of Wands sometimes actually symbolizes conflict avoidance. And you have this Two of Swords here too, which can sometimes symbolize avoidance, right? So I do feel like because these are sandwiched between the tower, part of the tower that is unfolding for this collective right now could actually have to do with recognizing where you tend to avoid conflict to keep the peace, is what I'm hearing. Some of you have a tendency to be a bit of a peacekeeper. And that's another reason I'm hearing why you were just told all of that information, because I feel like, I don't know what is going to happen, but something is going to happen, and it's going to have to cause you to stand up for yourself. Where you have to be like, actually, wait a fucking second, that's not true. In a way that's grounded and stable. I don't know how else to explain that, but like, this could correlate towards some of you having some fear of confrontation. And part of what is about to unfold and manifest is like being forced to confront something. This could even be yourself. It doesn't need to be this dramatic thing, right? Like for some of you, this is about some inner conflict that you're being forced to kind of acknowledge about your own shadow. Others of you, this is tied to a relationship. Take it however it resonates for you. But I really do feel like because of this symbolism of them removing the blindfold here, and like the two ravens helping to do that, this is about you facing some truth. Especially because in this particular deck, the tower to me is always more internal than external. Because there's something just very symbolic about this being like a natural disaster. So I feel like because you have this internal conflict next to it with the Five of Wands reversed, and then this Two of Swords on the other side, there is this really big omen that like something internal is crumbling. And this internal crumble can correlate towards what part of your shadow has been keeping you fearful of confrontation. You do tarot readings for people. Don't know what I mean by asking for one. Okay, that's weird. Have a good day. What? Yes, I do tarot readings for people, but they're purchased on my website. I don't do free readings. These are collective on Twitch. Confrontation has always been hard because my nervous system goes haywire. That's valid. But I feel like part of this is about you regulating that nervous system fear. It's about you working through that trigger instead of allowing yourself to be like, these are collective readings. Thank you, Stephanie. I also don't know why you were rude about it. Like, you could have just been nice. Anyway, the irony of us talking about conflict avoidance right at that moment, too. There's a really big transformation for this group. Like, look at this Queen of Wands energy coming out. I'm just saying. So they also just showed me a visual. For some of you, you're coming out of like a darker chapter of your life. I keep hearing the term coming out of the darkness. Shifting into the light with the devil at the bottom of the deck. That's wild. Something about like a forearm tattoo. Like right here, to be specific. Super random, but do you have any advice on dealing with avoidant people in conflict? Don't. I know that's not what you want to hear. I don't really have advice on that other than like don't bother. Like they're just not worth it. Like 9 times out of 10, it's not personal either. And I'm not saying like those aren't good people. It's just like you don't want to waste your energy and time trying to force them to have a conversation. It's just, you got to let them come to you when they're ready, if they ever are. And if they're not, then that's your answer in itself, right? You don't want to stress yourself out by trying to force someone to communicate with you when A, they're not capable of doing it, and B, they don't know how. It made me giggle. Good. Don't come for Avery at all. You're sweet. Something about, like, I don't know how else to explain this, but, like, I'm seeing a visual of, like, candles surrounding you. Like, having candles all around you in, like, a room. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Please, if you do that, be fire conscious. So either get, like, I have a bunch of, like, these types of candles that are battery opt. Or make sure you have them all on top of fire safe stuff. Okay? Don't be irresponsible. Especially avoidant needed to hear that. I'm glad it helped y'all. I appreciate it. Good. So I do feel like there is a major shift happening for this collective. It's like at one point you were at some sort of an impasse. You were at some sort of like turning point. You were trying to cross some sort of threshold, if you will. And I feel like this shift is unfolding. This shift is happening. I was just going to say, it's because you're listening to your intuition. I feel like I just got goosebumps. I feel like this collective, with the 2 of Pentacles going in the middle too. So part of what I feel like is unfolding here, for some of you, you're starting to recognize you're overcommitted. Okay, so whatever tower is crumbling, whether this, honestly, for a lot of you, this does feel internally, okay? So I feel like some sort of tower moment has manifested within that is forcing you to go, okay, holy shit, I'm doing too much right now. Especially those of you that recently just got sick or got some sort of a health diagnosis that you weren't expecting. Whatever that represents, part of that is actually correlating to Spirit's cheeky little way of being like, hey, it's actually time for you to look at how much you're doing on a day-to-day basis. What are you carrying that you don't need to be carrying that you could potentially put down? And I feel like this is going to help you to kind of shift your perspective and shift into this, like, look at how peaceful she looks in this image. I feel like that's where this group is going. My dreams have also been crazy lately, but I want to gently remind y'all that dreams 9 times out of 10 are just your subconscious working through some stuff, or it's just what you were thinking about before you fell asleep or during your day. Most of the time, I'm not going to say all of the time, most of the time your dreams aren't that deep. Okay? That doesn't mean always. As a prophetic dreamer, I do know that on occasion they will come true or they will manifest. But if you fixate on them, you will drive yourself crazy. That's interesting. You just said you finally got a mental health diagnosis, because I was just going to say there's also something about those of you resonating with like having some sort of a health diagnosis happen. It's actually going to make you feel really liberated. It's going to make you feel really free in a way that I don't think you really anticipate, because it's finally you understanding yourself. So it's interesting to me that I was guided to put this Queen of Wands on top of the Five of Wands in the reverse position. So not only is this more confirmation that this collective is stepping into themselves and into your power, but you're finally recognizing what it looks like to be authentically you. You're embracing your spirituality and your confidence in a way that the old version of you couldn't do, because you were afraid of confrontation. You were afraid of being yourself. You were afraid of being seen. For some of you, this correlates to imposter syndrome. For others of you, it's not quite that deep. I feel like there was this element of like, I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm just going to say you weren't taking care of your physical self. Maybe you weren't doing your hair like you used to. Maybe you weren't doing your makeup like you used to. Maybe you weren't really caring about what you wore on a regular basis. And something has shifted within your sense of self-love that is helping you to feel more confident about your physical self. And I feel like this is partly due to the conflict avoidance. Some of you dimmed yourself to fit in with people around you who hated themselves. People who did not value themselves or didn't love themselves, or just plainly didn't take care of themselves. And I'm not saying they were bad people towards you, okay? I'm just simply saying that, like, you kind of fell in with the crowd, if that makes sense. For some of you, it was because when you would be brighter, when you would be confident, when you would look good, when you would feel good, their envy would be like an anchor once again, okay? Others of you, this was just how you were taught. It's how you learned to survive at a young age, honestly. So for a lot of you, I'm seeing like childhood era where like you were a teenager or a preteen or maybe even like early to mid 20s. If you shine too brightly, people around you would start to make fun of you. People around you would start to kind of pull you down because they didn't like that you were more confident than them. And I feel like something has drastically shifted in this collective's energy where you're recognizing, and it's because of that, you're no longer afraid of conflict. So it's because of that is shifting you into this energy of the Queen of Wands. You're stepping into your power in a way that is so authentically beautiful because you no longer give two flying fucks what other people think about you. If somebody wants to bring you down for being confident, for being bright, for being yourself, that person is miserable. And why would you let somebody else's envy or misery or darkness affect your mental health or who you see in the mirror? Big shifts here, babies. You feel called out because you stopped doing your normal morning to avoid people's comments. Fuck them. You just went into the ads, and I'm not recently seeing that I really have to interact with people on your level, because when I'm around those type of people, it fucks with your energy. So I just want to gently remind you that, like, I don't know how else to say this, but like, I don't love the term people on my level, because I think that it kind of like puts a scale that doesn't necessarily need to be a thing. A lot of the time, people who don't take care of themselves, it's not coming from a position of malice. It's just coming from a position of a lack of self-love. And it doesn't typically have to do with you, but I'm not going to dismiss that it can be really hard to be around. But that doesn't mean that they're not quote unquote on your level. It just means that you're both at different points in your healing journey. So it's important to kind of gently ground yourself into remembering that, like, just because somebody's not taking care of themselves doesn't mean that they're trying to hurt you. Doesn't mean that it's difficult to be around a lot. Absolutely. But do you need to, like, you know, go down a place with it? No. We have the Two of Cups. Interesting. For some of you, love is entering into your life, and that's what's bringing you back to yourself. Yeah. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the King of Cups. For some of you, this is not, and we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. I cannot make this shit up. So for some of you, part of the reason this transformation is occurring is because you have attracted a partner. You've attracted someone into your life. This could be romantic, platonic, familial. It could even be a colleague, okay? This doesn't have to be love, though for a lot of you, I do feel like it will correlate towards love. This is someone coming into your energy field and shifting things up for you in a way that helps you to regain your confidence, because their love for you is so pure and so genuine that it makes you remember how much love you had for yourself. And I feel like a drastic shift is happening, and it doesn't even matter if this person has confidence or not, because they're going to make you feel like you are a queen or a king or, you know, a god or a goddess. Like, this person's going to put you on quite a pedestal, and they're going to treat you so well because they're a true divine. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune being next to that Two of Cups, for a lot of you, this hasn't happened yet. I'm hearing I just haven't met you yet, which is Michael Bublé? Question mark? So I feel like you haven't quite met this person, but I do feel like they are going to be coming towards you. And this could be something that you energetically feel. You don't necessarily have to, but because we have the High Priestess here, you're very in tune with energy. Others of you, this is someone who could already be in your life, and there's just a shift in your romantic relationship in a really positive way. Take it however it resonates, of course. But the Wheel of Fortune to me is usually an omen that like things haven't quite changed yet, but they're changing. And you can feel that energy shifting. You can feel that change coming. I feel it coming. Anyway, that is the weekend. I will try to remember to put those in the chat below, but there's also something about this being a bit destined. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. I also feel like for those of you that this person's already in your life, there's a very strong likelihood that this person is part of why you are starting to feel more confident about like the conflict avoidance stuff we've talked about. I don't know how to word that. Like you're feeling more confident in calling bullshit out. Like I'm hearing you're willing to call a spade, if you know that saying. I don't know. Okay. But let me grab those songs. Also, I knew I should have plugged in my laptop. Song number 1. Oh, can you write down the songs? Because when we watch back later, it doesn't let us view the music. Oh, yeah. Something about the movie It. Does anyone remember the other song I got in the beginning? You're welcome. All right. We're going to use this one. And then I'm going to use this one to end off this collective portion. And then for those of you that wanted more information from that first energy we tapped into in the beginning, stay tuned after because we'll pull from the What's the Tea and the Evil Eye. Today's stream might be a little bit longer than usual, which is probably a good thing to make up for last Thursday. I apologize. I'm starting to feel healthier because I'm starting to feel more settled. So I think last week, part of why I was feeling like poop is literally partly because I wasn't feeling, settled in. Like my TV wasn't mounted. My stuff was still kind of all over the place because my shelves weren't put up. And also I am like 85% sure that I either glutened myself or I dairied myself on Thursday night or Thursday. And if I do one of those two things, I'm dead for the next day. So we have express yourself more clearly. This collective, you're actually being guided towards being more creative right now. Is anybody else extremely creatively blocked? Like I have felt so blocked creatively for probably 3 years of my life. Like I don't know. Maybe not 3 years. I think the last time I felt creative, maybe, was like 2022. So we also have giving and receiving. Immediate innuendo. Well, at least I'm not alone. Some of y'all are attracting, like I said, a partner that's gonna like give and we also have you're not being heard. This is where your trauma comes from for a lot of you. That fear of confrontation was coming from a wound of not feeling heard, of not feeling validated. This could have come from childhood, or it could have come from past relationships, or both. Perhaps you were conditioned over time to believe that that's just how life was. That's just the way it is. What is that song? We have Curious About You, XOXO, Gossip Girl. I just dropped that. Something about, like, the early 2000s. You need to learn through this, and then we also have codependency issues. So I think it's interesting that the codependency issues is going on top of the you're not being heard. Because to me, that's like a really big omen. There is an aspect of this pattern that definitely stems from your childhood, and I feel like it comes from your parents not getting you. I'm trying to find that song if y'all are wondering why I'm distracted. I think I found it. It's Tupac, isn't it? So we have growth and transformation. This is what's unfolding for you. You are growing and evolving into a version of yourself that you have always wanted to be. Like, I'm hearing a lot of you started your healing journey during COVID, during the pandemic, especially in like March or April of 2020 is what they just showed me. And I feel like you have been on, like, literally, you have been on such a long journey. You've been staying the course of this. You've been focusing on finding your way forward. And you are about to see the level of growth, the level of security that you desired yourself to be in that beginning stages of your journey. Regardless of whether or not it was in 2020, okay, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that this collective is about to step into the position of power that they wanted themselves to be in when their healing journey begun. You are about to shift into such a secure position. Yeah, we do have vulnerability concerns here. So a lot of you, I feel like part of the blockage and part of what needs to be worked through definitely correlates, first of all, practice self-love, definitely correlates towards this wounding here. So your fear of not being heard, your fear of not being seen in your authentic self, your fear of not being understood, not only creates maybe substances issues or relationship triggers, but it also comes from a fear of being vulnerable. So there's this part of this collective that isn't open with themselves emotionally or in general because you are afraid of what that looks like and you're afraid of how you're going to be perceived. This is shifting. All right. So we're going to pull from the self-care oracle because you can literally never have too much self-care advice, okay? Oh my God. I have a vocal stim in my head that has been a vocal stim for me since like Vine. Some of you are being encouraged to do some sort of abundance planning. I do, every time I see the abundance planning card, one of the things I like to mention for people, some stuff that I realized when I started my financial healing journey, if you will. One, buying water, the biggest waste of money. Okay, buying water bottles, buying water while you're out and about, a huge waste of money. For starters, you can get water for free at almost any restaurant. For second, you can get water for free at your house. And if you're buying bottled water because you don't like the taste of your tap water, buy a goddamn filter or a Brita because it will save you a ton of fucking money. Then all you need to do is replace the filter every 6 months or so. Probably less than 6, I don't know. It depends on your usage. Second thing I always like to tell people that I learned when I went through my money healing stuff, and I'm still learning, I'm not perfect, okay? Subscriptions. Gigantotron waste of money. And 9 times out of 10, you're paying for a ton of subscriptions that you do not need, okay? You don't need to have all of the channels on Amazon. You don't need to have all of those things. You need to go through your subscriptions and eliminate the ones that are just not, good. You live in Cali, you think they poison our water. I wouldn't be shocked, but at the same time, y'all, get a Brita. Like, just get a filter that's going to filter out any of that stuff. Do your research first, of course. If you want to, that's just my personal opinion, but bottled water is a huge waste of money. And any finance person will tell you that. But obviously, if it makes you uncomfortable, research it before you do it. Like, Always research before you buy. Look, at least go through your subscriptions, because I can guarantee that you are subscribed to stuff that you've either forgotten about or that you do not use. Personally, when I went through all my subscriptions, I realized I had literally every streaming service available, and I used one of them. You recommend Berkey water systems for filters if you can splurge. See? I love my community. We also have Ground Yourself. Spirit could be encouraging you to get grounded, get yourself a little regulated. I personally have a Brita, but that's because I'm cheap, and honestly, I should upgrade it. But I also live in Canada, so I'm not really concerned about my water. We also have Build Strength. This collective could be being guided towards going to the gym. It's interesting because when I was seeing the forearm tattoo, I was also seeing like arm muscles. So something about that could actually open up this collective's third eye. And I'm also sensing it's very grounding for you. We have Vision Board. This is Spirit's way of saying it's time to manifest your reality. Okay, so whatever it is that you desire for manifestations, put it on a vision board. Specifically, I am seeing for one of you that I read for and you are in my Patreon collective. I don't know if you already have a vision board going for like your dream home, but you should do that. Anyway, others of you, I feel like if you already have a vision board, it could be time to remove some of the stuff, put some new stuff on it, whatever you feel called to do, okay? We also have sound healing. So this would be sound bowls. Whether you do it yourself, you go to a place for this. Like, I know there are certain places, now I don't know of where any of them exist, but I know there are certain places that you can go where they're going to do that while you're in the room. And also YouTube, okay? So then we also have Sing. Just a friendly reminder, this will open up your throat chakra for those of you that are experiencing some throat chakra blockages. And then lastly, at the bottom of the deck, we do have Intuition and Making a Meal, as well as Journal. They want me to show that as well. So there could be something about making yourself a meal, or even baking yourself some sweet treats, journaling about your feelings, whatever you feel called to, okay? I've got natural well in the middle of nowhere is amazing. I love that. Does a Pinterest count? Personally, I don't think so, because when I had a vision board on Pinterest, it did not work the way that my actual vision board works. Like, I'm here now, so I might as well share this. I put my new apartment, like, I get the pictures from Pinterest. So you can take the photos from Pinterest and then put them on an actual board. And you don't need to have a board. You can just, like, do what do they call, like a gallery wall, and you could just print the photos and stick a piece of tape on the wall and put them up. But when first of all, I manifested my last apartment, so the condo that I moved from, I manifested it through a vision board. Secondly, my relationship and the soft side of myself, I manifested through a vision board. And then lastly, this house, I put the pictures up and I got it a week later. So personally firmly believe that having an actual visual representation in front of you is going to work far better than just a board on Pinterest. But that's just my opinion. I thought so. You can take the pictures from your Pinterest board, however. You printed pics off Pinterest included. Exactly. And it works like freaking magic, I'm telling you. I need a printer then, LOL. You can find really cheap printers on Marketplace. I'm sure you could also, actually, frig Marketplace, you can go to the thrift store. Or yeah, you can go to the library. I personally recommend always having a printer though, because it's helpful. How did you print that picture? How did you print the picture? I have a photo printer. So like I used paper. I didn't use my photo paper because using photo glossy paper would be diabolical. But I used to make stickers. I have a Cricut. I just told y'all, I haven't been creative at all lately, but I have a Cricut and I used to print stickers on my Cricut, and then I would like use those stickers in other creative stuff. I never sold them or anything, even though a lot of people in my life at the time were like, girl, you should be selling these stickers. But I'd be like, effort. So when I first started getting into that, I bought a pretty good photo printer that's like relatively affordable, and it can also print regular paper. Maybe it's calling you to be And it is. I know I need to create, but like the problem is I have OCD. Not diagnosed, but like there's just no doubt in my mind. Like if my towels aren't folded properly, I literally freak out. If my plates aren't stacked color coordinated, I will spiral. I have OCD and I've accepted that about myself. So because I'm not fully settled, there's this part of my brain that's like, you can't create any art. You can't do that stuff. You have way too much to get. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist. Like it's just that simple. Anyway, moving on. We are going to talk about I told y'all to stay tuned for the tail end. This could resonate back to the beginning of this reading. It might not though. Okay. But this card just came out. It says an offer. Something about like cosmopolitan, being invited out for drinks. Some of you are about to make some new friends. I like that. Some friends that are not going to be jealous of you is what I just heard as well. I just got inspired to use one of my canvases. I keep printing out things for a vision board, but I haven't got the board. I'm excited. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, totally. You can see, that's the thing. Like oftentimes our logical brain is going to try to block us from like what we can and can't do. But like there is no rules or regulations about what your vision board looks like. If you want to use the back of a canvas, baby, do it. Somebody wants you back. So for some of you, this offer is coming from someone from your past. I did kind of feel in the very beginning that like third party energy was definitely connected to an ex for a lot of you, but you're happy. I don't feel like any of you are going to accept this person. Some of you might take it however it resonates. The love might outweigh the bad. I don't know. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. I feel like this is this collective. You're like running in the opposite direction of this person. You're like, I am so good. I'm hearing been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Like, you already know how that's going to play out. You know exactly what would happen. This person's hooked on you, though. Hooked on a feeling. That's the other song that I had channeled earlier. That's insane. Getting it now. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga chaka. So for a lot of you, this definitely correlates to the first message. This person's especially hooked on you sexually. I feel like they're kind of addicted to you in a sexual sense. They are showing me sacral chakra energy. It might be helpful for some of you to kind of cut the cord from your sacral chakra especially. I'm also sensing something about a back tattoo. This person could have like a back tattoo. And look, ain't shit. And it's going right underneath wants you back. You don't want this person. You don't care. Like for some of you, I do feel like, I don't know how to explain this. Like it's not necessarily that you don't care about them as a person, because I feel like you're too nice is what I'm hearing. You're too kind. But you don't care about how they feel in reference to wanting you again. Does that make sense? Like, you don't really give a shit because you know that this person is a terrible partner. And you don't want that. Like, I feel like a lot of you have moved on. Part of the reason you were involved in this relationship was because of the neglect that you had from your childhood. So this person mirrored that back to you. I honestly feel like for a lot of you, this is like a traditional avoidant type of energy. And I feel like it reflected a wound in order for you to heal it. I just heard like that, what is that? I think it's from this. 1 second. This person could have had their text tone as this a while ago. Let me find it. How would I even find it? I don't even know what it was called. It was like the wee-woo. That one. Did y'all hear that? Something about that could be important. It's the tweet tone on iPhone. Anyway, let's put mine back to what it normally is. This is mine. Anywho, something about that could be important. Or maybe if it's not that actual tone, maybe this is about Twitter, i.e. X. There could be something about that. I feel like this is the type of person to fish for compliments. Like, this individual is pretty insecure. Their insecurity is part of what they have to work through. It's part of their trauma. They could also have some child neglect as well. This is also really specific, but if this person has a child, they do not care for them the way that they should. Like, they're not a great parent, and I hate saying that out loud, but this child might even be a little bit frightened of this person. They might not enjoy their parent. There's some resentment here, okay? You want to change yours now? Mine has been the MSN text tone since I was, like, a teenager. Auntie boys freak out every time they hear MSN. That's funny. I feel like this collective is definitely ignoring this person because we have that going on top of the wants you back and the ain't shit. Like, you just don't care. Yeah. Like, this person wants you back, but you don't want them. I feel like in the past, this relationship, like, the connection might have been deeper than you wanted it to be, but, like, 9 times out of 10, it was just, like, this was just, like, a love affair. This was, like, a situationship. This was a F-buddy or whatever. This was mostly about sex, and I feel like it took this particular collective a really long time to see that truth, but you've seen it, and now you just don't give a shit. You're like, okay, well, there's more to love than sex. I'm also hearing there's more to something than beats the eye, whatever that saying is. And you also know that this person's fake. Like, they try to flaunt like they have their shit together. They try to act like they have money. They act like they have all this stuff. But in reality, they're just showing off. And 9 times out of 10, what they're showing off doesn't even belong to them, is what I just heard. Mine is always on D&D. Mine is too. And if it's not on D&D, it's on Vibrate. Because why are you yelling at me like that all of the time, you know? Also, I don't get messages from, like, literally anyone. I am such an introvert. People know not to contact me unless it's important. Okay. So we're going to use this deck to end off for today. And I feel like this is probably about that same situation. All right? Kiss me softly. I don't know why I'm hearing for I have sinned. Hello? I was blind. I'm sorry. But now I see. You have this person blocked. This says unblock me now. This individual could actually be dredging up some childhood trauma of their own. This person could have been assaulted as a child or abused in some sort of capacity, sexually speaking. I also feel like that was mirrored back in the day. So, like, you've probably done a lot of work surrounding your sexual trauma, but, like, part of the reason you two were drawn to one another is, 1, that childhood neglect, and 2, that wounding. We also have Leave Me Alone. This is this collective. Like, you just don't care. I'm hearing too much damage has been done. I also think it's interesting we have yellow and then we have green. So, like, a solar plexus and heart chakra as well as crown chakra could be important. Family brings you down. And I do feel a weird sensation on, like, the top of my crown right now. And as soon as I said it, it went away. Skeletons in the closet. This is so specific, but for some of you, this person is actually gay or bisexual, and they have been denying their sexuality the majority, or honestly, I'm hearing their whole life. And they've been denying that part of their sexuality because that correlates to their trauma. So this person was assaulted at a very young age by someone either of the same sex. No, I'm hearing of the same sex. There's no or. This person was assaulted by someone of the same sex, and I feel like that trauma and that shame that they have connected to that wound actually blocks them from being themselves. So this person's afraid of being open about their sexuality and opening up about the fact that they're either gay or bisexual or even trans for some. And it's because of that trigger. It's because of that skeleton in their closet that they try to keep very buried. Now they're showing me something about, like, alcohol or drug addiction. They try to numb it. Like, I'm seeing someone who drowns themselves in substances to avoid this trigger. This is heart-wrenching if you think about it, but I have the empathy for them, but at the same, you can have empathy and not tolerate their bullshit, okay? It's called boundaries. Just a reminder. I'm also tasting, like, fruity pebbles or something. I don't know. They don't love you like I do. I also feel like those of you that have moved on and have a new partner, this person's really struggling with that. They're really struggling with the idea that you have a new relationship, and I feel like they're trying to, like, I don't think they're gonna interfere because at the end of the day, like, it's interesting. This person is weird. Like, this person at the end of it wants you to be happy, even if that happiness is not with them. But they're at the same time, they're like very bitter about it. But I don't feel like they would ever do anything to affect your relationship. They might pop up and communicate that they still care, but they're not going to try to like swindle you back into something. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, this person is not a bad person. They're just very traumatized. And I feel like they're stuck in a bit of a victim mindset. They have a bit of a victim mentality. I also do kind of sense that this person's family might be a little bit toxic. They are showing me codependency. But Spirit's saying surprises are in store for you. It's time to keep going. Keep pushing yourself forward. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I don't know. I've been channeling. Oop, I just put that right in my water from my cup. I've also been channeling this song that I don't know the freaking name of, so we're going to try to find it. Your love is toxic. Do y'all know that? I think it's a man. Is this it? Found it. I have no idea who this is though, but this is also from 2022. No, but I love that song. I 86 all my exes in my phone. That's fair. I put all my exes in the contact graveyard when I block them. I don't save my exes' phone numbers personally, but that's just me. I literally don't have a single one of them on my phone. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't have like anyone on my phone though, because I'm very particular. If I save your phone number, you did something right. I'm assuming, I mean, I'm old too, so like I'm assuming 86 means they like ditched them, because that's what it used to mean when I was little. Like 86, like I think. A way to avoid ads is subscribing, whether through your through Amazon or just in general. If that's something you want to do. It's serving reference to mean you're out of something. Yeah, I thought so. I'm in ads, and the first was for Fruity Pebbles Shape. I saw that at Dairy Queen yesterday. I didn't try it, obviously, but remember that you can subscribe through your Amazon Prime, and you won't have to watch ads if you are subscribed. If you have a Prime membership. But I do want to remind you, you do have to renew it every month. But anywhoozle, y'all, that was today's weekly reading. Do we have any questions? Ew, it's on loud. I forgot. You're welcome. Since I don't think anybody really has any questions, I'm probably gonna hop off. I got some stuff to do today. I don't want to adult anymore, but I fear I have no choice. Because that's life. This was really nice. I'm glad. See you tomorrow for Patreon. Yes, but don't be surprised if tomorrow is a little bit shorter of a reading than the normal hour or so. I'm trying to get caught up on client readings, so I have like 2 30 minutes to do tomorrow morning. And if I still have the energy, I'll do a normal hour and a half Patreon. But if I don't still have the energy, I'll probably do like a 45-minute short one. And then the week after, we'll be back to the normal. I'm just trying to, play catch up from the move and taking time off and all that fun stuff. But anyway, y'all, I love you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. And for those of you that are subscribed to Patreon, I will see you tomorrow for our weekly reading. I have no idea what we're doing yet. I usually choose that topic in the morning when I sit down to record. As y'all have seen lately, I choose it while recording. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I love you guys. Remember that we do have another stream next Thursday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the more of you that subscribe and follow me over here, the more streams we can start doing in the future. So this video will be posted on my Twitch, and then I will post it on YouTube as well whenever it releases for me to be able to do it. Anyway, I love y'all. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you when I see you.